This year, too, our cases ended up resulting in 202 arrests, 198 cases were cleared, and 558 charges were laid as a result of Crime Stoppers tips. We just recently, you heard about the launch of Facebook and YouTube. We've had those pages running for just under a month now without advertising them in any shape or form. And it just goes to show the power of social media. Just last week we ended up putting a missing girl from Georgina on Facebook, and in the 17-hour period before she was located, we ended up with 72 hits on the Facebook page without advertising the fact that we were even there. And just recently too, they did release the fact that Facebook is actually getting more hits than the Google search engine is nowadays. And with the different advances that you're seeing in the Facebook product, they're pulling us into that Facebook realm, and YouTube's going to start doing the same too with some of the advances. With all these advances, with getting into Facebook and YouTube and now dealing with what the youth are doing, and even young adults nowadays, the volume of time that they spend on the internet looking at this stuff is incredible. So all this stuff will in the future help us to increase our tip volume exponentially, I expect. I'd also like to take an opportunity to quickly thank the Board of Directors, because without this group of volunteers, our program wouldn't be able to survive. I get paid to do this, they don't. So all these gentlemen are here on their own time today, along with another gracious volunteer here, Gary Murphy from Crime Stoppers International. And without people of his magnitude spearheading all these different ventures from across the world globe, we wouldn't be able to have the successes that we have here along with the rest of the world. Anyway, I'd like to thank you all for coming and taking the time.
Thanks, Barry. Our next speaker today was to be the president of the Ontario Association of Crime Stoppers, Alex Williamson. Unfortunately, Alex called me this morning, and due to Highway 400 closures and inclement weather, he's going to be unfortunately unable to make it. Alex had asked me if I could just say a couple words on his behalf. So from the Ontario Association of Crime Stoppers and its 38 member boards, I bring to you welcome for 2011. The OACS, as we refer to it as, is made up of representatives from the RCMP, the Ontario Provincial Police, municipal police forces from across the province, the Ontario Association of Chiefs of Police, the Ministry of Natural Resources, and civilians from your communities. In 2011, due largely from a grant of $20,000 from the Ministry of Community Safety and Correctional Services, the OACS will be launching a jail initiative. We will be placing Crime Stopper literature throughout all the institutions, correctional institutions throughout the province of Ontario, encouraging inmates with information if they'd like to call Crime Stoppers anonymously. We've also made arrangements that they are able to make outgoing phone calls from these correctional institutions to Crime Stoppers directly. And this is a very exciting and new initiative, and we're going to be making further information available in the next coming weeks. Also in 2010, excuse me, the OACS launched the Student Crime Stopper DVD. This is a video that's being distributed throughout the province of Ontario, centering on crime in the schools, bullying, and the types of things that students are subjected to on their daily basis. It educates them on the workings of Crime Stoppers and how they too can become involved in the program. I'd like to make a special mention that the creation of the video was largely done here in York Region, utilizing students that attend our schools here. Sergeant Gary Harvey played a major role in developing this DVD, and we thank Gary very much for the time and effort that he put into this presentation as well. And any teachers and students that would like a copy of the video, it can be made available by contacting Gary or myself. We can make sure that it's sent to your schools. If you have not already received one, it would be made available immediately to you. Excuse me. I would next like to ask a dear friend and a very interesting individual. Every time Gary Murphy speaks, I know I thoroughly enjoy it, and I've had the pleasure on a number of occasions to hear Gary and talk about some of his travels with Crime Stoppers International. So Gary, if you could say a few words, please.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure for me to be here to pass along a few comments concerning things that we're doing on an international basis for Crime Stoppers. Recently, we had been working for the last couple of years with Interpol, and we've continued to do that. And in November, representatives from Crime Stoppers International attended the National and General Assembly for Interpol in Qatar, where it was signed an official memorandum of understanding between Interpol and Crime Stoppers International. So we were quite pleased with that, and it solidifies our ongoing cooperation agreement with Interpol. In addition to that, we're continuing to work with the United Nations on human trafficking initiatives in many of the countries that we currently operate in. And currently, right now, there's 28 countries. There are a number of new programs that are underway, that are being planned, or that we've received information and requests from countries to help them start programs within their own countries. Some of those countries are as follows. I think you may be surprised. Afghanistan, Argentina, Chile, Honduras, India, the Punjab state, Israel, Mexico, Nigeria, Pakistan, South Korea, Yemen, and Panama. So as I said at the beginning, we're quite busy, and we're continuing to be quite busy with the requests for assistance to start Crime Stoppers in these various countries. The most recent conversation I had was as recently as yesterday, and it ties in because I know that you've been very involved in the Human Trafficking Initiative. And the gentleman I spoke to from India yesterday wants to create a Crime Stopper program in the Punjab state, and their primary concern right now is on human trafficking issues. An update, perhaps, for those of you who have heard me speak before, about a program I was very involved in setting up in Juarez, Mexico, located directly across from El Paso, Texas. Those of you who weren't aware, in 2007, Juarez had, first of all, for those of you who don't know, it has a population of about 1.5 million. As I said, it's right across the border from El Paso, Texas. In 2007, they had 300 murders. In 2008, they had 1,500. In 2009, they had 2,656. And in 2010, they finished off the year with 3,100. All of which are attributed to the drug war and the ongoing battle between the cartels, whether it be the Sinaloa, Juarez, or Las Zetas, fighting over the routes to get drugs into the United States. Unfortunately, in those numbers I've given you for 2010, 102 people that were killed were police officers, and 67 of them were municipal, and the balance were federal police officers. So as you can see, while we try and continue to expand Crime Stoppers throughout the world, our goal and the challenges that we will face will be different in countries that we're working in. Clearly, setting up a program in Juarez is one thing, having it spread through the entire country is another thing, as it can be expected to also be in places such as Panama, or Argentina, or Israel. However, we continue to work with a number of very interested people and dedicated people in their communities to do this, and we've had tremendous success. Again, for those of you who aren't familiar, the way Crime Stoppers International works, it's almost like an international body, but everything comes through the various Crime Stopper programs, such as here in York Region, such as in Sault Ste. Marie, such as in Prince Edward Island, all the way through the 1,200 and some programs in some 28 countries. We have, as of yesterday, been successful in arresting just over 870,000 people. We've solved over 1.4 million cases. We paid out almost $97 million. And we've recovered approximately $2 billion in property and seized in excess of $8 billion in drugs. So it's a very effective program, but it's effective because of the volunteers, people such as that are here with the York program, and many others that are here with student programs or other programs throughout the country. So again, on behalf of Crime Stoppers International, continue your hard work. Your initiatives pay off. Good luck in 2011, and congratulations on 25 years of success.
Thanks very much, Gary. That pretty much concludes today's session. I know that for any of you that have any questions, would like more information on the Student Crime Stopper program, our student coordinator, John Carson, is standing over in front of the Crime Doesn't Pay But We Do sign. I'm sure that any of our guests would be happy to field any questions. I think Joe as well would join in interviews in Cantonese, or any other questions that you may have of Joe. There's some drinks and snacks in the back. We ask you to stay and visit and If you have any more questions about the Crime Stopper program, by all means, please ask any of the people here in attendance today, and we thank you, and we look forward to seeing you again.